Timekeeping has always been about more than just knowing the hour and the minutes. At its best, long before computers, it was about absolute control, life and death, the measuring of moments when precision actually mattered. Long before luxury entered the conversation, watches existed to solve problems far beyond the telling of time. Navigation and fuel consumption, timing dives, taking vitals, pilots, engineers, conductors, scientists, explorers. The list is infinite. No story born on planet Earth speaks to the need for an accurate measurement of time more so than the 1891 Kipton, Ohio train disaster known as the Cannonball. A head-on train collision that killed 9 people that was caused by the engineer's pocket watch running just 4 minutes behind. And then there is one of the most famous moments in history, the 14-second burn, where a chronograph was used to calculate the precise amount of thrust needed to align the lunar module for a safe re-entry to Earth after an oxygen tank had exploded on the Apollo 13. The bottom line is that there was a time where watches were far more than luxury items and statement pieces. They were tools designed and built for purpose, and few brands represent that philosophy more honestly than the brand that we are taking a look at today. Founded in 1882 in northeastern Switzerland, Hanhart originally opened its doors as a general watch shop, where it served the local community for 20 years. That was until 1902, when founder Johann Hanhart made the decision to relocate the company to a burgeoning German town near the Black Forest that I am not even going to remotely try to pronounce, but according to Hanhart, that town was once the largest watchmaking town in the entire world. That same year saw the birth of Johann's youngest son, Willy, who just 22 years later would cement Hanhart's place in history when he and another watchmaker would design and produce the world's first affordable mechanical stopwatch. At the time, only available to the wealthy, Willy's new affordable stopwatch would have a major impact on Hanhart, making them a market leader in the stopwatch space and paving the way for their first pocket and wrist watches. Fast forward to 1938, and Hanhart released Germany's first production chronograph, the Hanhart Caliber 40. Designed for precision military use, the Caliber 40 was a mono-pusher chronograph that used a single pusher to start, stop, and reset the chronograph function. Just 2 years later, Hanhart would release a 2-pusher chronograph, the Caliber 41. A crucial tool for early aviators, the Caliber 40 and the Caliber 41 were both worn by German pilots during World War II, where they proved to be durable under harsh conditions and quickly made Hanhart the go-to company for Flieger chronographs. Fast forward once again to the 1950s, and Hanhart would release the precursor to the watch that we have in hand, the 417 ES, a speed-switching chronograph known today as a flyback, where the operator could stop, reset, and restart the chronograph with a single action. All right, I wanted to hop in here real quick and explain how a flyback chronograph works for those that may not know. I'm sure most of you do know, but for those that don't, a standard chronograph was designed to time a single event, say a lap on a racetrack. When the driver would start his lap, the chronograph would be activated. When the driver finished the lap, the chronograph would be stopped, the measurement would be taken, and then the chronograph would have to be reset. The flyback was invented to track consecutive events or sequential events. Using the same racetrack scenario, this would be useful if you wanted to track multiple laps. So say you were tracking lap number 1 as he crossed the finish line. Instead of having to stop, reset, and restart, you could simply start tracking lap 2. And again, tracking lap 3. Produced between 1953 and 1962 for Germany's unified armed forces, the Bundeswehr, it wouldn't be until 1963 when Steve McQueen would forever seal its fate as the watch of the King of Cool, when he wore his own personal 417 for a Life magazine photo shoot and single-handedly changed the nickname from the Bundeswehr-Chronograph to the Steve McQueen. 140 years. That is where Hanhart's story begins. Stopwatches, pocket watches, wrist watches, complications not built for luxury but built for purpose. 140 years, and to celebrate, in May of this year, 2025, Hanhart released the 417 ES 1954 Heritage Flyback Chronograph collection. A historically accurate homage to the original. Historical font, historical logo, 39mm stainless steel case, both satin brushed and high polished. Fluted bidirectional bezel with a red insert position marker. Anti-reflective sapphire crystal and the iconic red 4 o'clock pusher. A warning sign to prevent the user from inadvertently resetting the chronograph. Yet Hanhart tells of a legend where the pilot wearing the 417 looks down at his wrist to learn that his wife had painted the pusher with her red nail polish so that he would always think of her until he could return home safely. These companies know, as watch enthusiasts, we are suckers for a good story, and for that I say to Hanhart, well done. 4 Hertz beating at 28,800 beats per hour. 23 joules, manual wound column wheel Sellita AMT 5100M flyback movement featuring a small second and a 30-minute subdial, all being protected by Hanhart's shock absorption system. According to Caliber Corner, the AMT in the caliber number means that this caliber was produced by a division of Sellita that handles higher end movements, and in some cases even bespoke. And I believe that may be the case here, as I was only able to find a few watches that use it. But my bet would be that, since it's made by Sellita, it's going to be about as solid as a movement could possibly be. The bottom line is that this watch, in my opinion, is a winner. I don't do recommendations. I think that, buy what you like at a price that you can afford. But I will tell you this. I am sending this watch back, but if it was within my current watch budget, I have a feeling that this is one that I would be keeping. So thank you so much for watching, or as my brother likes to say, for spending your life minutes with me. Please consider subscribing. I'm James, this is Blue Collar Lux, and I will see you in the next one.